I'm Nadine Miller. I have the most wonderful family. My family started out with 3 little girls, and I never dreamed that the Lord would take care of them so well, and me as well. One day, I decided to go with their daddy, his name was Junior, in the truck, semi, and we had an accident. So we got on to the hospital, and they put me in a room and took him wherever they took him, to ER, because he was still alive at that point. And they came and talked to me a few minutes. I don't remember what about, but anyway. And that wasn't too long till they come in and told me he had passed away. And I was just so violently ill. So, okay. In the meantime, I had presence enough of mind to call my dad at work. Not Mama at home, but Daddy at work. They got in the car, and it was next morning before they could get there. And we got ready, and they packed me up and brought me home. They had pillows all around me because one shoulder was broke, one was tore up, and that was all that was the matter with me, other than me knocked around and bruised. So we came on home. We came by where the semi sat. I never saw it. The Lord closed my eyes to it. The girls were at Glenn and Pauline's, and they kept them until we had the funeral arrangements. I didn't go see them. When you stop and think, you have an 18-month-old, a 3.5-year-old, and a 5.5-year-old. You don't put them in the middle of something like that until you have to. And I tried to get one minister who Glenn or Junior really thought a lot of. And he was in Chicago to minister, and he couldn't get away. So, okay, I called my cousin's husband, Max Whited. Max is such a wonderful figure in our life all the way around. He married Junior and I. Turned out he baptized all 3 of the girls. He had Junior's funeral. He married Glenn and I. So, I mean, he's very important in our lives. So we got that all done, and Max come to me and he says, Nadine, we've started a new trend in Union, Missouri, where he was ministering at the time. And he says it's one of those things that had always haunted me, is to have the comforting bit of a service, and then you had to open up the casket and you walked past. He said, we've stopped that. We close the casket the night before with a prayer at the funeral home, and we don't open it again. And I thought, I love it, just like that. And they did open it for people to view before the funeral, but that was it. So the Lord was so good. He provided so well for me. I did not know that there was insurance money. I was trying to figure out how I was going to take care of my little girls because they were too little to put with a babysitter. And it worked out just fine. The company that Junior and Glenn were both working for tried to fight and not pay the insurance. And they said, she's got 3 little girls. She needs that money. So, in time to come, I got it. And it worked out very well. It lasted until Janet was in school. And that was the one thing that I had asked the Lord. Lord, provide a way somehow that I can stay home with my little girls till they're all in school. Janet started to school in September, several years later, but anyway, she started school in September. A lady at school, which we lived across the street, worked in the kitchen, and she quit. And they immediately got a hold of me, the girl that was left. I applied for it and got it, went to work the next day. So it was like the Lord was just standing right there waiting for me to asked questions, and he provided the answers. And I told him, I said, I'll work the rest of my life if I have to get this fulfilled. And I did work the rest of my working life, but just because that's the way it worked. The Lord just saw and I always had a job. I never had to go out and beat the bushes. I usually had a job when I needed one.